Hello everyone, this is Ming Zhong. Welcome to today's market analysis for the S&P 500 E-mini futures. In this video, I am going to show you the market recap on the last session, plus two trade reviews in M3 that I will cover the entry, exits, and the rationale behind. Those trades are based on a breakout setup and also the reversal from the oversold channel that I did initiate in London session and also one in the US session. And definitely going forwards, I will cover the bias, key levels to pay attention to, and also the potential setup for the session later. But before I dive into the market recap, I would just like to show you my observation on the past weeks. As you can see on this screen here, I have a 4 chart which shows the 4 main indices, the S&P 500, the Dow, the Russell, and also the NASDAQ. So from the look, we know that NASDAQ has been the leaders since the bottom formed in the 23rd of March. And it has been the leaders, but until probably last week, for the past 5-6 trading session, it's kind of become a laggard. While the laggards, which are the Russell and also the Dow, actually catch up. For the S&P, is still kind of like in the middle. So this is just my observation, because I think NASDAQ is definitely a leader that we need to pay attention to, whether it's leading on the way up or it could be just leading on the way down. So if there comes to be a correction or some kind of the reversal, then I think NASDAQ will probably be the first one to lead as well. But at this moment, this kind of the switch in the performance could be some kind of the rotational play. So if that's the case, then still I will still stick to the charts until the supply emerge and showed up in the chart together with the results. All right, so let's get started with the chart for the S&P 500. As we can see here, we are in the daily chart here. So yesterday we had a bullish session. So initially we have seen the sell-off, but that also gets recovered very quickly just after 2 hours. And we see that the volume increase compared to the past few sessions is definitely quite significant. I think I will just go into H1 and you can see a very clear picture here. All right, so if you recall my video yesterday, I mentioned possible long entry if we get a test on the level 2980, or should there be a deeper test, then it could be from 2960 to 2980, which is a test of this breakout bar, which it did happen, because as you can see during the sell-off, this bar here actually tested this breakout bar, and quickly we see the reversal, and there we go. We have quite a strong and nice rally and close at a high here. So yesterday move was kind of, I would still treat it as a test for this trading range. So this is the trading range, a reaccumulation, and we have a breakout, sign of strength rally, followed by a backup. So this is the first test, and this is the second test with increasing volume. And if you look closer, these 2 days actually have increase of the volume. So, and it actually formed a kind of like a megaphone structure. So in this case, I actually expect a test of the previous bar here, because the supply is very high. So I think it's possible that we can see another dip or a test of this previous bar before it resolves itself out of this kind of the megaphone structure, or can become a diamond-like structure. Let me just draw them a bit. So what I actually expect is maybe some kind of move to resolve itself out before we see further up move and then break, something like that. So this is some kind of the anticipation, because based on the volume level of yesterday, and also how the structures looks like. So this is just my anticipation. And going into the trade reviews, let me just dive into M3. Okay, so let's get back to yesterday's session. As you can see, I have already marked up 2 trades here. And if you recall my video yesterday, I did swiftly mention that I actually initiated a long entry during the London session based on the breakout of near around, I think, 3020. So this is just a very simple entry based on a breakout trade of the past swing high, because it's pretty much like quite a nice structure after we have seen a sign of strength rally followed by a backing up action. And at this point of time during the London session, I actually anticipate a continuation to the upside. So I just initiate the long entry just right after the close of this breakout bar, and put my stop just slightly below this this candle here. But as you can see here, this trade didn't really have a very strong continuation. I did scale out half of my position after this rejection bar. So this is the strong rally bar, and followed by the rejection bar, and also this kind of bearish bar here. I just close a trade, and this is not too bad. It's roughly around 1.5, and I just left some of my positions on, because I still believe that we could see some continuation to the upside just before the US session open. But unfortunately, it didn't, and until this point here, just close to 9 o'clock. And after this big bearish bar here, big spread bar, and I just exit my trade here, and it's pretty close to break even. I think it's only two points profit. But anyway, this is just one trade in the London session based on a scale out 2 times here. And just right after US opening, we have seen some sell-off with increasing of the volume as well. So I didn't really initiate any short entry, didn't really catch this nice swing. But what I did catch is this reversal here, because if you recall that I talk about potential long entry if I see some kind of the bounce around 2980, which is somewhere around here, and it didn't really have any kind of bounce. So I just wait for the next level, which is actually a test of that breakout bar during the, I think, London session. Yep, there's a London session. So if you look in this M3 time frame, you can see that the actual accelerated bar is actually somewhere around 2967 to 2982. So the dip here actually tested 2965. So it's a really tested the breakout bar. And if I draw up the Dow channel here, you can see that the price actually run into the oversold region based on this channel. And just right after this bar here, we have seen a reversal bar. So all this just suggests that a potential reversal is coming. First, because it actually hits my levels around 2960 to 2980. So actually run into that area. Second, based on this kind of the acceleration move to the downside, running into the channel oversold together with the increasing of the volume, then I think it's pretty much we have seen the climax here. So I just enter the long entry on this bullish bar here at the close of that bar, and I did wait for a bit, but unfortunately it just sort of like grinding up move, and this bearish bar here with an increasing of a supply at 23:36 my time here is a bit scary, but still it recovered very quick. And at the near the end of the, I think around 12:10 my time, I just exited the trade because it's quite late on my side. And also this actually quite a nice level where the supply actually started, because you can see that the supply started here and we have seen a sharp sell off from this level 2996 all the way into 2965. So these are two of my trades. One initiated in a London session and one during the nighttime or the US session. All right, so let me just get back to the current moment. So what's happening now and what's my bias? So let me take a look here. Okay, so far I think despite these 2 days, 27 and 28, we have seen the increasing of the supply. Also some results here, but actually is the result wasn't that bearish despite the increasing of the volume or the supply. And I think based on the level of the supply, I actually anticipate another test of this bar here, yesterday bar. And also this is the kind of the megaphone structure. So I think we just need to see how it actually resolve out from this kind of the structure. That's why I'm quite neutral for day trading. Either a long side or a short side, I can just take it. So for the long potential long entry, I actually anticipate the 2980 is still a very nice level where the resistance actually turned into support. It actually provided supported one time, second times here, and a minor support here as well. So 2980 is quite a nice entry to long, as long as we have seen some kind of the bounce up. So it could do something like that, or if even a bit further, can test the swing low here as well, 2966. And then if we see some kind of bounce, then this is nice as well. Otherwise, a break and retest could become a nice entry as well to the short side. Like this is kind of like a structure. So if we see the move down or the test, then a break and retest can probably become my short entry to trade it to the downside, like 2980 from 3030, something like that, or even from here on this high here, the swing high or a non-RTH high, maybe you can do an uptrust of this high, false breakout, and then become a false or a proper entry for my short entry traded to the downside. So this is possible as well. So going forward, the bias for my day trading is kind of neutral. I can trade both sides. And for swing trading, definitely is still up, because if we look at slightly higher time frame, let's say H4, maybe, okay, yeah, H4 is nice. Okay, we can see that it's still pretty much fluctuating or consolidating within this up channel, and it actually touched the resistance that I mentioned in my past videos, 3050. So the first target is reached, 3050, and I believe we still can have some upside targets to run into the channel overbought, like 3080, somewhere around there, 3080. And eventually, the target that I'm looking at is actually this swing high here. So this is around 3130 or 3140, somewhere around there. So I think we probably can see further upsides if it doesn't really go down from here. So I think we still have chance to see further upside target. And for the immediate support and resistance level that I'm looking at, I briefly mentioned it just now. For the resistance, definitely looking at the swing high 3050 here, and also the intermediate or the axis line here, 3030. And for the support level, definitely 2980 and swing low 2960. So these are quite a few supports and resistance levels that I'm watching. And yeah, for the potential setup, I already covered for either long around this supporting area here or short near the resistance area here. Alright, so this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and get something out from the video. So if you like it, just click like and also hover to my name or my picture to follow me, and do subscribe to my video channel so that you get instant notification for my future videos ideas. So as usual, if you have any kind of the comments, suggestions, trade ideas you would like to share with me, feel free to comment it below. I definitely reply to you. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.